deal. Odell Beckham Jr., the former Pro Bowl receiver, is contributing less and appears a shell of himself when on the field. And an anonymous GM said they'd be very surprised if Cleveland found a way to move OBJ in a Yahoo Sports article that implied he's virtually untradeable at this point. So, Shannon, how surprised are you to hear this news?
I'm not surprised, but I don't think it's fair. Skip, it's not going well. By no stretch of the imagination. It hadn't gone well for Cleveland. It has not gone well for Odell. But I think they just have chemistry issues. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you don't realize how good you got something until you go somewhere else and you're like, well, damn, I had it pretty good in New York.
He did.
I had it pretty good in New York.
He was often the toast of that town.
He was.
That's some town.
Skip, look, I believe Odell has been open a lot of times in the game. From the games that I've watched, I've seen Odell be open. And either Baker overthrows him or he underthrows him. And he's getting frustrated and he starts to press. Now, Skip, your favorite website, your Bible, Football Bible, Pro Football Focus says Odell has 2 drops all year. I'm just saying, none last week. That's not what they said. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just going by what they say. I don't buy that Odell is untradeable because I believe everybody is tradable. The question is, Skip, what price are you asking? Do I believe they can get the price that they're going to be asking? They're probably going to be asking a first rounder, probably maybe even a second rounder.
Well, that's absurd.
And there you have
I mean, nobody's even going to smell that.
Drop it down to a third or a fourth and watch Green Bay pick up the phone and call you right away.
You really think so?
Yeah, I really think so.
Would you wish that upon Aaron Rodgers?
I want Aaron Rodgers to have it.
Really?
I sure do. I wish that upon him.
Remember, Odell has deluded himself into believing he's better than Devontae Adams.
No, he
Well, he has. That's the problem.
No,
yes.
Stop saying that. And plus, Skip, you do realize he's only 28. So imagine.
He's about to be 29.
Okay.
I think he turns 29 on November 5th, so we're almost there.
Okay, 29, still under 30.
All right.
So now you got Devontae on one side that's going to pull the coverage, and you get Odell. Now you got a guy that's a marksman. Now you got the transcendent one. The word you use, transcendental.
Okay.
That's what Aaron Rodgers. Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers throwing to him? That ain't Baker Mayfield. I think I might be more accurate than Baker Mayfield right now.
And if Aaron doesn't throw it to him 12 times a game, he's going to pout and he's going to make waves. And he's still Odell on social media. He has power. He has impact. He has mystique. And it becomes more trouble than it's worth.
It ain't going to be no trouble in Green Bay. You won't be any trouble.
Well, Green Bay ought to just hang on because I think Cleveland might be reduced to just cutting him. I'm serious.
They're not going to cut him.
By the end of this day, they might just say, we just can't do this anymore.
Then watch it free. Now watch 28 other teams jump up with both feet on the train.
Well, how can you go from virtually untradeable to 28 teams jumping on the train?
Because if you release him, now I can get him at my price, and I don't have to give up compensation.
You get him for nothing.
The whole thing is, Skip, is that what's the compensation? I'm not going to give up no first round. I'm not going to give up a second rounder. But I might be willing to part ways with a third or a fourth rounder for Odell.
Yeah. Okay. So Charles Robinson of Yahoo reports that he's talked to a number of GMs, but one AFC general manager says, I'll be surprised if they can move him for anything because the money is so high. It's $8.05 million, so call it $8 million. And he said this is a consistent theme with Beckham when NFL teams speak about him. So he's hearing this all across the league. The truth is that when teams look at Beckham, they see an $8 million liability for the remainder of 2021. That's how much he's owed the rest of the year. So then it goes back and forth, the piece does, about there are times Mayfield hadn't clicked with Beckham. There are times when he has been frustrated by his use in the offense. That's most of the time.
Stefanski said that.
Yeah. And there are times when Beckham hasn't played nearly as well as some people want to assume, either because of injuries or mistakes or because he's just not the dominant player he once was. That's what I'm seeing. He's just not that guy anymore. I don't know if he hasn't taken care of himself. Maybe the injuries have robbed him of his electricity. He used to be just uncoverable. He's lightning quick and lightning fast. And to his point, he's got the greatest hands in the history of football. So what have I seen this year so far? Well, let's do the two. If it's only 2 drops, I know which 2 they're referring to. This was a 4th and 2 at the 17 at Chargers with 8:16 left in the second quarter. It's a 13-10 game, and Baker throws it right to Odell for a first down.
That's a drop.
That was a big, bad drop. Here it is again, and Baker's right on the money with it, and it's a drop. And it's a big first down because they're driving to maybe take the lead.
Correct.
Then we come to the next play. This is against Arizona. This is a 4th down play, 4th and 4 at the 7, and the game's pretty much out of control, but they might get back in the game, and he just wanted no part of this, and you just got to tough up a little bit and hang on, and that's another drop. Those are 2 4th down drops.
Yes.
Unclutched drops. Now comes the play in question against the Steelers. It's a 15-10 game with 2:57 left, and you defended Odell, and I did not on this play because if you have the greatest hands ever, this ball's in your back pocket. You just have to go up and snag it. He wanted no part of it because he was going to get hit. So he sort of slowed up and looked kind of awkward, like, I don't know if I want to try this or not because I'll just put a hand up and wave at it.
That's Baker Mayfield. You protected the pocket.
Just go right up and snag it. If you got the greatest hands ever, if your hands, as he says, work like Purell 99.9% of the time, was that the 0.01% of the time when your hands didn't work?
Yeah, but Baker, that germ that we hadn't discovered yet, so we ain't got no cure for it. Really? So I need him to put it right here. Right here, Skip. Right here. Put that thing right there.
You know what? That truly, if he just runs through the play, it's right there. No, seriously. He kind of slows up and makes an awkward one hand.
There you go.
He's waving off the ball. I don't want to get hit. I deserve to wear a yellow jersey.
What about Baker?
What?
So you ain't going to put no blame on Baker, huh? So none of this is Baker.
This is a throw to win the game. Now, there was a roughing penalty called on Baker on that play, but obviously, if Baker just goes up and snatches it, which he is 1,000% like, Odell goes up and snatches it, then you just decline the penalty because you're going to have 1st and goal at the 3-yard line, and you're going to win the game.
But guess what? They took the penalty, got 15 yards, and then what did Baker do after that?
Well, you should ask what Jarvis did after that because he went drop. Well, it was. He dropped the game. Jarvis dropped the game, but Odell had a chance to win the game and did not. And that's on tape, and they see it, and they're saying, why would we want to pay anything for this? Why would we want to give up a 3rd rounder or a 4th rounder and take on $8 million for the rest of the year for that?
Skip, it's amazing because that was in Detroit, and that was in Detroit don't look like it does in the Rams, does it? That
so far, but sometimes it reverts back to Detroit.
So, hey, it's rolling good. Skip,
and you can make the case. If Odell went back to the Giants, he might go back to being Odell because he thought, I was born to play in the Big Apple.
No.
Right?
No,
but if you send him to Green Bay, is he really going to love Green Bay? He's going to hate it worse than he hates Cleveland.
Hey, John Mara about to clean house. Everybody about to go up in the Giants.
All right.
So he ain't going back there. He don't want to go back there. I think the Mara family and the Tisches that own the Giants, they kind of wash their hands with that. But I do think he'll be a great fit in Green Bay.
Okay, Odell has played 44 of his past 74 possible games in the National Football League, and that's including 2 postseason games. And all I know, and you want to poo-poo and scoff at this, but last year, Baker goes on an 8-3 roll to finish the year and wins the playoff game at Pittsburgh without Odell. He got hurt at Cincinnati, and in that 11-game stretch, Baker goes 20 touchdown passes to 3 interceptions, and there's no Odell issue. There's no Odell problem.
I noticed you did that again. Now, when you talk about what Odell did in the last 8 games, that's what you said. You say, what Baker did in the last 11 games minus Odell. Not one time did you mention Nick Chubb. Not one time did you mention Kareem Hunt. Now, but when they lose, the first name you throw up there is Odell. The first name you start mentioning is Jarvis drops. You don't mention anything about Baker. But when they went 8-3, what did Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt do? Run there after the football. Play action pass, wide open. Now, all of a sudden, they lose, and you ain't mentioned Baker.
20 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions without Odell.
Okay, so what is numbers right now? Now, you remember Odell missed a couple of games. So how did they do without Odell when Odell wasn't there?
Odell's played 6 games so far. He's gotten 34 targets from Baker, and he's caught all of 17. That's a 50% catch rate. That is pathetically bad.
The man need a catcher's mitt to catch some of it.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does realize this is our soccer. So he throwing the ball, hitting Baker, hitting in the back of the foot. I mean, what do you think? This ain't Bennett like Beckham. This is Odell Beckham, not David Beckham.
Yeah.
David Beckham is good with his feet. Odell Beckham is good with his hands. I think he's confused the two. Yeah.
Are you sure about that? Once upon a time, he was way back when he made the greatest catch of the history of football against my Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
How about Baker practice throws instead of practices his lines for progressive?
Well,
how about he do that?
Well, how about Odell put on the same kind of show he puts on before the game, during the game?
Well,
how about that?
I could do that. If Baker throw me the ball, he gonna wait till the fourth quarter and he gonna say, "Okay, Odell, I'm coming to you." Oh, wait a minute. Where were you in the first quarter? The second quarter, third quarter, you were talking about don't come to me, and now you ain't thrown me no balls the whole day, and now you want me to come to your rescue and save you. I told you not to eat and jump in the water after that. You know, Skip, you're not supposed to eat on a belly full and then jump in the water, go swimming.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden you done jumped in the water with a belly full and you want me to come save you. Nah, I told you to throw me the ball in the first and second quarter. Give me some balls, Skip. Let me feel it, get it in my hand, baby.
Odell is averaging 39 yards receiving per game. That's easily a career low. And guess what's happened each of the last 4 years? His yards per game have dropped.
Yeah.
Dropped each of the last 4 years. He's in decline. He's not what you think he used to be.
And I tell you what, and Baker is exactly what I thought he would be, because his numbers over this season has in decline. Steady ticking down.
If I were the Browns, I would just cut bait. If it requires cutting Odell, I mean, just flat out cutting him. Cutting Odell right now, today. Just cut him, clear the air, clear the decks, and see what starts happening to the Cleveland Browns, because it ain't over. They're not out of it. Nobody's out of it in the AFC.
Yeah, at the end of the day, look, you got mold in your house. Now, you can take out a side of the wall, you can take out a paneling, but this thing need to be fumigated. Now, what you're trying to tell me is that Odell is the only